Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12 of my tutorial series for beginner players in Minecraft Java Edition. Today we will be looking at various crops in Minecraft and how to farm them, as well as various layouts for farms. The available crops for Minecraft is shown in my hotbar below, and those are wheat, potatoes, carrots, and beetroot. Potatoes, carrots, and beetroot can be obtained in villages, and you will have to search around until you find one. To start your own farms, you will need at least one of each. So once you find a village, just grab some of those crops from the farmer villagers and you should be set. Crops in Minecraft has various uses. First off, you can eat your own crops, though they tend not to be the best food source in the game in their original state. Bread is a better food source than the rest and can be crafted from wheat. The other uses for crops is to give them to villagers, which will enable them to breed and make baby villagers, which is useful in various farms and other game mechanics like villager trading halls, for instance. Crops can also be used to breed animals, which we will be looking at in episode 13. For any crops to grow, you need water. Crops can only grow up to 4 blocks away from a water source. Hence, some planning is necessary to be able to lay out your farms efficiently. I've prepared 3 layouts to consider, but there are other layouts as well. This will be enough though to get you started in your early game. So let's look at layout 1. The easiest one is just one source block, and then you can count out 1, 2, 3, 4, and diagonal as well 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the borders so that you know where the water source will reach. Then you need a hoe and you just hoe away and prepare the soil for plants. Alright, so that's basic layout 1. Basic layout 2 is the one over here. A water source can travel 8 blocks. You will see if we break that, the water will not reach to that block. So it can only be 8 blocks long. And then 4 to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can also do the 4 on this side. But a more efficient layout would be to do what I did on layout 3 over here. Still, source block over there, 8 blocks go that way, 8 blocks going that way. And you just make sure to hoe all the ground all around. Right. So this is the most efficient layout just out of the bat. And you can decide whichever you might need. For this one, it would also be possible to count out 1, 2, 3, 4 and put a bucket down in the middle. Let me just quickly get one. Just like that. And then just go around and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and just over entire thing. Right, just like that, and everything has been prepared. In my personal opinion, I tend to use this layout, but some people will say this looks more efficient. It really doesn't matter, whatever suits your need and you want to work with. Let's take a look at the available crops in the game. For wheat, you will need seeds to plant, and you can obtain seeds by just running around and just punching your grass, and you'll see we just punched out a seed. So just pick that up and go plant it. Let's just plant a few more. And then once the wheat has grown, you can just harvest it, and then we'll use the wheat to craft it into bread, and you can eat that if you have no other food source available. So let's just quickly bone meal the seeds of the wheat, at least get it grown. Alright, and that would be your fully grown wheat available to be used. Once you've harvested your wheat, you can then run over to a crafting table and just craft that into bread, and that is now available to be eaten by your player. Alright, the next crop that we're going to look at is potatoes. Same mechanic, just plant your potatoes and wait for it to grow. I'm just going to bone meal this as well, just to speed up the process. Potatoes has various growth stages as well. Bone meal is going to make it much faster, but it will grow up like a small plant and then eventually reach its full height, which is like that, and then you can harvest it. So let's just do this quickly. Alright, so that is what your fully grown potato would look like. You can eat a potato raw if you want to, but to get the most value out of your buck, you need to bake it in a furnace and it will make a baked potato. Baked potatoes is a much better food source and can be eaten in your early game quite easily as well. Alright, let's look at beetroot next. You can't plant the beetroot plant just like that. You need to plant a beetroot seed, also obtainable in villages, and you plant it the same as you would your wheat and just wait for it to grow. Let me just get bone meal again. Alright, so that is what a fully grown beetroot plant is going to look like. You can eat your beet just like that if you want to, but it's not going to have much value in the way of food. If you want a better food source, you need to craft your beetroot into beetroot soup, and you need a bowl for that. I've got a few bowls in my inventory, and you just select your recipe like that and craft it. As mentioned already, this is a better source of food than normal beetroot. But most people tend not to use this recipe because you first need to craft your bowls and then the recipe itself, and I think it's just too much of a hassle. Then lastly, carrots can be planted as is. You don't need seed for that. And obviously we need to grow the carrots as well. So let's just quickly bone meal it. Right, so that is what your grown-up carrot farm would look like. And you can eat carrots as well, but same as other crops, it has a very low value if you eat it just like that. So you can craft your carrots into golden carrots if you have any nuggets available, golden nuggets, and you just make a golden carrot. And as far as I know, golden carrots has one of the best values for food in the game. So they tend to last much longer than other food sources as far as keeping you saturated. Two other things to mention: if you have bone meal available, as we've used in this episode, you can use it to bone meal your crops and grow them instantly. Beware though that you can quickly run out of bone meal. So one way to make bone meal would be to put seeds into a composter, and once the composter is filled with seeds, it will pop out a bone meal for you. And that's one way to make a lot more bone meal. There's a way to automate this, but it's not part of this tutorial to look at that in the moment. The other thing that I need to mention is if you've prepared your farm ground and you jump on it, it will turn back to normal soil and you won't be able to plant anything on it. So you'll need to have your hoe ready and just hoe it again to be able to plant on it again. Alright, so just be wary of that. Sometimes you would jump onto your farm and just continue running, and oops, you've just made a mistake. Alright, so just be aware of that. Okay. This tutorial does not cover all the food sources in the game. You can eat glowberries, sweet berries, melons, and a few other things in the game as well. But since they are not considered crops, we did not look at them in this tutorial. And we will get to the mechanics around them in a later episode. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial on the different crops and how to farm them. Please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to follow my series. If you do subscribe, remember to hit the notification bell to be notified of new episodes. We've got over 80 tutorials to cover in this series, and even intermediate players in Minecraft could learn something from this. Thank you again for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are. Goodbye.